Hey, yo, blessings and greetings. Y'all know me. It's your boy, Mr. Carolina, coming to you with a recap of the NBA draft that just concluded. Um, Going to go over little insight, little takes, how I feel about it, get you guys insight on it. But again, trying to grow this channel as much as possible, and it's growing. And appreciate the love and support. But again, remember, like, share, subscribe, man. I'm trying to grow this and be one of the best, Hornets content creators. So you guys keep coming back, and we keep this interaction going. So without any further ado, with the sixth pick. Uh, Hornets shocked a few people. They take the 6'10" in shoes, small forward slash power forward, Tejan Salon out of France, um, which shocked a few people because you still had some people's, not mine, pick Donovan Kling until on the board. You still had Matthias Bliss, another interesting prospect out of the G League Ignite, still on the board. You still had some people's favorite, Dalton Connect, still on the board. But the Hornets took the home run swing. I don't know about the Giannis comparisons, but I can see, just from looking at film on the young man, what Jeff Peterson and Charles Lee see in him. Are we expecting him to come in day one and play big minutes? No. But I do see him as being if he can reach his potential, and I'm going to pray to God that he does, then we've hit a home run with this young man. Again, 6'10" in shoes, about 217. Has a frame to put on some more muscle. I have no doubt that he will, and contribute. Maybe not this year. He may get spot minutes, but we're not like we're competing for a championship this year, so not to do much. With the second pick in the second round, pick 42 overall, we take the point guard slash perimeter defender, KJ Simpson out of Colorado. He stands what it looks like his scouting report says about 6'2", 187 pounds. A playmaker, shot creator. Somebody, excuse me. Sorry, but when you look at what we did, KJ Simpson, we needed perimeter defense. Now, does he bring that to the table? He also brings playmaking, um, can shoot, can create off the dribble for not only himself but others at the same time. But when you look at the way our roster is constructed, what we have, and I know a lot of people from just the chats, videos I see going on other content creators' pages and just reading articles of everything. Everybody was wanting, say, like a Reed Shepard. But if you break down our roster, like seriously break down the Hornets roster, if you look at a Reed Shepard, right? Because everybody was super high on Reed Shepard. We already have Trey Mann, about the same height. I think both about 6'2", 6'3". It's about the same weight. Trey's a little bit older, but Trey has also learned the NBA game. And if our coaching staff and our GM is about developing, how about we develop somebody that's already on our roster? Trey Mann has shown the ability to shoot from deep range. He has shown the ability also to create, not only for himself, but for others. He's shown the high instincts to play perimeter defense, to getting passing lanes and do what he needs to do. So that would negate, if you're going to draft a Reed Shepard, then you are hindering the development of a Trey Mann who's shown flashes that he can contribute to this roster. Not only that, but you have a Visa Micic, another point guard. Yes, he's 30, so he's on I can't even say the latter side of his career, but he's also a point guard, because that's what Reed Shepard would have been, was a point guard. Reed Shepard would have been an undersized point guard who we don't really know if his height and size translates over to playing good defense in the NBA. And he's not going to be a point guard here because we already have a point guard when he's on the court, but in LaMelo Ball. And so I know the next name that people were very high on was Donovan Clingan, which to me, for the life of me, maybe it's just me, but from somebody who studies the game, watches the Hornets for many years, that pick did make sense to me. And then it was rumored we were supposed to be talking to Houston about trading the number up to the number 3 and giving them Mark Williams. That would have been stupid. That would have been super dumb. Because to me, what is Donovan Clingan? Um, but Mark Williams, who we already have on the team. Um, Somebody else who's 7 foot 7'1", 240 pounds. He may not weigh as much as Clingan, but Mark Williams is a rim protector. Mark Williams is a lob threat. Mark Williams shoots a better percentage from the free throw line. And again, if you're bringing in Clingan at 6, you're saying I'm here to replace Mark Williams. Now, is incumbent on us to get Mark Williams healthy? Absolutely. Do we need to do that? Absolutely, because as Jeff Peterson and Charles Lee have both indicated, he is our franchise cornerstone center going forward. So it would behoove us, and fingers crossed for this young brother that gets healthy very quickly. But to me, that would have been done. That's just my honest opinion on it. I know people say, "Oh, you should have drafted Donovan Clingan." Why? For what? He was on a championship team for 2 years. Okay, kudos. Congratulations to the young man. But let's not act like Donovan Clingan set the NCAA world on fire. You get excited about somebody because they're 7'2", 280, 290 pounds. That's cool. But he also has an injury history as well, which for a big man in his injury history, that's not something that you project in a good light going forward, i.e., Yao Ming. Injuries as a big man with his feet, now Yao Ming had an awesome Hall of Fame career, so I'm not comparing the two, but it hinders you in a way. And good luck to him in Portland, but we didn't need that here because, as I said, Mark Williams. If you're doing that, you're saying Mark Williams. You're not in our future plans going forward because Mark Williams is still only 22 years old, only 22. So he's still young, still has time to develop, and I still see him doing that under Charles Lee. So I'm interested to see how not only Mark Williams but Nick Richards, so a lot of you, a lot of folks over here saying trade Nick Richards. Why? For what? You have to remember Nick Richards was a second round pick that nobody expected anything from at all. But every year he's gotten better. Every year he's gotten better. So I'm anxious to see if we keep him, and I hope we do. Because how many years do y'all remember that we didn't have a legitimate backup center? We got one. How about we hold on? And remember, Nick Richards, last time I checked, is still young. Nick Richards is only 26. He's 26. He's also a legit 7 foot, 245 pounds. Runs like a gazelle. Rim protector, lob threat. Still does the same thing. So you have two young centers. We still have the young man that we signed, Marquise Bolden. 6'10", 7 foot, 250. He's only 26. So we have three legit centers on this team. Every good team has a starter, backup, and then an insurance. Marquise Bolden, because he saw Mark Williams hurt last year, was the insurance. Just in case, because even when you had to spell Nick Richards, of course he came in late, he had to learn the offense. When Nick Richards went down, we put in Bolden. All right. Even then, we still have Grant Williams to play a small ball 5, just in case. So again, that's why the Donovan Clingan draft pick, which a lot of people were beating the drum for, didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't fit what we're trying to do going forward. And I know people say, "Oh, they can shoot and he can do this," but if you look at the team and you look at the way things are, the way the offense had been ran under Clifford, it wasn't exactly ideal for a big man to shoot because he based a lot of his offense around, let's be realistic, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard wasn't a shooter. So I'm anxious to see with Charles Lee coming from Milwaukee, where he had a Brook Lopez just now, and they won a championship. Coming from Boston, where he had a Kristaps Porzingis, a Al Horford, that can shoot. If he allows the big man on this team, which they have shown, because everybody is excited about this process. Oh, the big man can shoot in this draft, and they've shown. Okay, Mark Williams in the pre-draft workout showed he can shoot. Nick Richards in the pre-draft workout showed he can shoot. Hell, Nick Richards showed he could shoot when he was. It's like a lot of people forget. He showed he can shoot when he was down in Greensboro. Remember when we drafted him and Vernon Carey? Nick Richards stayed for. We traded Vernon Carey because Nick Richards had the ideal height, the ideal weight, was athletic, and he could shoot. But for some reason, he gets up here to the big club, and Clifford's offense doesn't permit big men, let's be honest, to shoot because it's not in the scheme. Because we have guards that are shot heavy. Now, am I saying they're perfect? No, but I'm anxious to see what these two young men do under Charles Lee and Jeff Peterson's guidance. The other person that I know was heavily linked to the Hornets was Dalton Connect because he can shoot. Okay, that's okay. Or Montes Bliss, two guys he can shoot. Uh, but it's like most folks forget. Even when you look at Connect or you look at Bazilis, if Connect, as for as much as he could shoot, and people want to say athletic prowess, he plays Olay defense. No, thank you. You can shoot all day. We already have somebody that can shoot all day that plays no defense. His name is LaMelo Ball. As much as I like LaMelo, defense is not his forte. Now, I'm hoping that changes on Charles Lee, but we'll see. Another thing, look at Bazilis. People forget we signed Alexei Pokusevsky. What is he but Pokusevsky, who we just gave a 2-year deal to? I would love to see, again, development. I would love to see what this coaching staff allows Pokusevsky to do. He showed flashes last year as well. Does he continue that going forward under Charles Lee's staff? I'm hoping so. We already have, again, we have development pieces, young pieces on this team that I would love to see, and some other Hornets fans would love to see develop. Okay. Again, a Nick Smith, we want to see him develop. Berton's a little bit older. Cody Martin, if he can stay healthy, is a great perimeter defender. Leaky Black, to me, deserves more minutes because he's a perimeter defender. Let him get on the floor. Again, Trey Mann, Brandon Miller showed he's the alpha dog on his team. Would love to see what he does going forward under Charles Lee. So we have the necessary pieces on this team. Now, am I saying we're competing for a championship? Absolutely not. I'm not crazy. I'm not in denial. But I want to see what the drafted pieces and what the pieces we have coming back, if healthy. And that's the thing. This is not a bad roster when healthy. Again, not saying we're competing for a championship, but I would love to see what Charles Lee can do with a actually healthy roster. And if y'all didn't catch the press conference from our new GM, which I'm loving what he's doing already, and again, that's not even including what we just traded for. Again, I don't know if he's going to stay or not. We just traded for Reggie Jackson, another veteran point guard / shooting guard that can bring insurance just in case, which creates competition if he stays. Because last time he didn't stay, but if he stays this time, that creates more competition. He's older, he's a vet, he's been around. They won a championship in Denver. But again, if we're developing, that'll probably take away from Nick Smith Jr.'s minutes. Again, we're trying to figure out where we have in him. I see Nick Smith Jr. spending a lot of time in Greensboro, Mark Bailey in Greensboro, Leaky probably in Greensboro, KJ Simpson a lot of time in Greensboro, Tajon Shalon probably spent a lot of time in Greensboro, which it helped out a lot of our players in Greensboro. It helped out Mark Williams. It helped out Nick Richards. I mean, it's helped develop. I think Martin was down there for a little bit. It helped him out. Nick Smith went down there to help him out a little bit. So, and when you look at veterans, you still have Grant Williams. Brought him over in the trade. I'm anxious to see what a full off season is like for him coming. If LaMelo Ball can get healthy, if we need to see this core that, of course, Charles Lee and Jeff Peterson have pointed out of LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Mark Williams can do actually healthy on the floor together. And again, I'm praying we do resign Miles Bridges because, again, Jeff Peterson said in his press conference that he told Miles that he wants him here. Like, we want you here for the long term with this team because we feel like we have a nice core that can grow together. So, again, anxious to see what these guys do for the upcoming year. Not expecting much, to be honest with you. I'm not expecting them to set the Eastern Conference on fire. Would I like to at least be in the discussion for the play-in? Yeah. But I know if we do get into the playoffs, then our pick in next year's draft goes to the Spurs. I'm not endorsing tanking. I never endorse losing because it's terrible. But apparently next year's draft is going to be historically good, and that they can have another franchise cornerstone player in that draft. And again, it would be interesting to see if, what we can do. But I feel like we have pieces that can make us competitive night in and night out. If you can get a LaMelo Ball to stay healthy, if you can get a Brandon Miller to take that next step, if you can get Mark Williams to, again, be healthy and take that next step, you resign Miles Bridges, who's shown to be consistent. You have perimeter defense, again, in Cody Martin and Leaky Black, which, again, I hope he gets more minutes, and Trey Mann. See what these young guys can do. And, again, you have, forward depth. With Grant Williams, who can play a small ball five in pinches if need be. Again, with the Mark Williams, with a Alexi Pokusevski. JT Thor still there. I know people are not very high on JT Thor, but he's still there. And then, again, you add Tejon Salon. So, anxious to see what this team does. Anxious to see what some of these guys can do in Summer League. Coaching staff, again, this is not the same regime. Remember, new ownership, new front office, new coaching staff. So, again, I'm anxious to see what they can do with this roster going forward. So, again, I'm glad the draft fell the way it did. The player that I wanted, again, went to the Spurs. I know a player a lot of people wanted went to the Spurs, which was Stephon Castle. If it wasn't Stephon Castle, it would have been Ron Holland, which Detroit shocked everybody and took Ron Holland fifth right before. So I believe we got the player that was maybe not number one on our board, but high on the board. Again, with high upside. So, again, y'all, this is just a recap of the Hornets draft 2024. We took Tejon Salon first round, pick number 6. We took KJ Simpson, second round, pick number 42. Traded for Reggie Jackson. Now, whether Reggie Jackson stays or not, we don't know. But we'll see him in the next coming days. And then remember, we still got free agency. Don't know if we're going to be super aggressive. I know that said this coaching staff and the general manager said a lot of things about developing. And again, we have a lot of young talent on this team to develop. Excited about things going forward. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Jesus, it's been a long day. Below. But again, this is your boy, Mr. Carolina. Bring you just a recap of the 2024 Charlotte Hornets NBA draft. Tell me what y'all think about it, and what are y'all ideas for this team going forward? What do you think we're going to do in free agency? Heck, what do you think our next season is going to look like? But again, before I get up out of here, man, again, appreciate the love. You could have stopped anywhere. You could have watched any video, but y'all came here to watch mine. Again, like, share, subscribe, man. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all get. Y'all give me and help me keep growing this channel. So, again, y'all already know my saying, man. Be blessed prosper, and may God forever keep y'all. So, to the next episode, man, y'all be blessed. I'm going. Peace.